Hello and welcome to my autumn. I really want to read these books in the coming months. So yeah, there's quite a few books that I do want to try my best and read in the autumn time. Obviously most are, I say obviously, um, because October has a very famous holiday festivities. Um, the pile that I've accumulated is maybe a little bit more on the creepy, monstery, classic side. Quite a few books. And it's not exhaustive ones. So September doesn't really have much of a theme, I think. Mostly I'm just trying to read a few books that I've been planning to read for an awful long while. First up, I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also have an audio version of this, so the game plan is to listen to the audio version and read this at the same time, so hopefully I can actually stay focused enough to read this book. The letter size is criminally small. So we'll see how that goes. Another very popular book that I've seen for years is the first in the Grishaverse, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've already started reading I read the... what do you call it? I remember a moment ago. Prologue. I've read the prologue. It's intriguing and I'm very excited to see what I think about this. The one and only children's book would be The Sisters Grimm, The Fairy Tale Detectives, the first book, by Michael Buckley. I'm pretty certain I saw this first mentioned on the channel How to Train Your Dragon. He does talk a lot about Mildred and children's book. Would this be Mildred? I don't know, but it sounds interesting. And then we have The Invisible Library by Genevieve Kochman. I actually haven't seen anyone talk about this, and I do know that when I bought this last summer, they had an entire shelf of, I think, all the books in this series, but I decided I'm gonna first try with the first book and then see if I'm intrigued enough to continue the series, which is generally a good idea. Talking about series that I bought purely because they were pretty, I have the Bone Witch series trilogy by Rin Chupeco. Rin Chupeco. I got these from Illumicrate, and I am not ashamed to admit that I got them because they're pretty. I wanted pretty books, and the Bone Witch saga just sounded really intriguing, and I think they fit into the theme of autumn, which is creepy things. And I mean, a skull, a heart, and a three-headed dragon creature probably fits in. I lied, there is another children's book. I have here The Sister Who Ate Her Brothers and Other Gruesome Tales, Jen Campbell, illustrated by Adam D. Souza. It's pretty. So this is a collection of basically creepy stories for children, and then we have Christina Henry. I have still to read a book by her. So I have an anthology where Christina Henry participated along with Neil Gaiman, Charlie, Jane Anders, M.R. Carey, and many more. Edited by Mary O'Regan and Paul Kane. These are all stories based on fairy tales. And here are the authors, if you'd care to read. And then I have Near the Bone by Christina Henry, which I've been meaning to read for the entire summer, and I need to read this because I kind of want to find out what happens. It seems to have monsters and people That was such a good way of describing a plot. And then I think I heard about this one first on Jack Edwards' channel. Marina Enriquez, The Dangers of Smoking in Bed, a collection, I believe, of short stories based mostly, I believe, about women and children and creepy things. And then we have Andre Bjerke's The Lake of the Dead. I've still to read it. And technically this, it does kind of fall into the folkloric paranormal ghosty type of thing, but at the end, at the base of it, it's a murder mystery, or you know, a criminal. It's a crime thriller written in Norway in 1942. I did start reading in the first chapter, and I'm really happy that this book comes with like these little annotations. So you know, notes is what I was gonna say. So the translator put in quite a few notes, both about Norway at the time and some names that are referenced here, and it's really helpful. So I am definitely gonna continue reading this book. It sounds interesting, and I want to find out what the deal with the lake is. Another collection, Charlotte Perkins Gilman, The Yellow Wallpaper and Selected Writings. So I do believe, so there's a bit of a revival of interest, I believe, in this book, mostly because of this internet phenomena called the backrooms, which are characterized by yellow wallpaper. And oh dear, now I just noticed the artwork here. There's quite a few boobs. And then we arrive at the classics. There are quite a few classics that I haven't quite read yet, and I do want to. I want to read Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've seen that on a lot of reading lists, and I do. If you follow How to Train Your Dragon, he did a wonderful vlog where he visited the town where this book was written. And honestly, if I ever can manage to go to England just on a tour, I would love to visit that town and just go through the museum and the attractions. That would be wonderful. But yeah, so this is, I believe, a bit of an what's it called, an epistolary novel. It's told in diary entries and letters, so quite different from what I usually read, but I mean, it's a classic for a reason. So I say so a lot. I need to stop doing that. Next up we have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Look at the cover. The original monster story, where, as many have pointed out before, it's not the titular monster that is the monster of the story. I've seen so many movies based on this. I've read a lot about this story. I've seen quite a few retellings, read a few retellings myself, but I've never read the original, and I really want to do that and just find out what the actual story is. Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. Quite a hefty one. How many pages is this? 428 pages, so quite a bit more than I'm used to, but it's a classic. People have talked about this a lot over the years, and again, I want to read the classics. I want to find out what the actual story is. Oh yeah. And then we come to Lovecraft Mythos New and Classic Collection. Gorgeous edition that I bought this past summer. I have read a few of the stories. This is, you know, new and old stories. The good thing about these type of collections is that you can just dip and dive and pick out whatever you want to read. So definitely going to continue with that this autumn. And the last book in my lap is The Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. So again, these are stories and poetry by Edgar Allan Poe. Another classic, and definitely gonna be diving this one as well. So those are the books that I'm planning on reading this autumn. Except for November. In November I will be participating in NaNo, or the National Novel Writing, meaning that I will be very busy in November. So my plan is that, because I still want to continue reading so that I don't go completely insane, my plan is to read some mangas. I've got Spy X Family. I got the 7 volumes of that. I got quite a few mangas. Not all of them have arrived yet, so I will be, well, when it comes closer to November, I will see how many I've got left, because I'm already dipping into the pile. Yeah, I will see how I will definitely be making like an October to be read pile later this month, and then in October I will be making a November pile, so I will show you in further details what mangas I will be reading in November. So yeah, it feels really good to be talking about books. It just feels really nice. So thank you for watching, and I hope there's some other videos of mine on this channel that you will be interested in watching, and maybe share with me what books you are planning to read this autumn. And yeah, I will see you later. Okay, take care. Bless.